baby.
Vulnerability. A state of emotional exposure that comes with a certain degree of uncertainty and involves a person's willingness to accept the emotional risk that comes with being open and willing to love and be loved.
Interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Before we hop into the rest of this video, I'm gonna stop in and just say thank you all so much for 200 subscribers. We did it. We actually hit 200 subscribers before June 1st, and that was my goal. And your girl is really sitting at 243 subscribers. It's currently June 5th, and we have grown from 200 to 243 in just 5 days. Now, I know a lot of people might not think that that's a lot, but that's a lot of people in 5 days. It took me 5 months to hit 50 subscribers and 5 days to almost hit 50 subscribers. I don't care what nobody said. That's a huge improvement, and I want to thank you guys so much for that. So now our next goal is 300, and I cannot wait to get that. And also thank you so much for 9K on TikTok. I never would have thought I would have grown on TikTok, y'all. Let's be honest. Never would have thought I would have grown on TikTok, but your girl is sitting at 9K. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to get the 9K. The next goal is to get to 10K, and the next goal for YouTube is to get to 300, and the next goal for Instagram is to get to 2,000 followers. So let's get there now. We can get into the rest of this video.
What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Zinia back again with another video, and welcome back to the Visual Diaries Series. In today's Visual Diary video, we're going to be talking about something that I kind of struggle with, which is vulnerability. So if you all don't know by now, I'm on a self-love / healing / isolation journey right now, and let me tell you, it's rough out in these streets. It's really ghetto. When I first started this journey, I thought self-love / healing was becoming the best version of yourself and working on upgrading yourself. Boy, was I wrong. What I didn't realize about this journey was you also had to face your raw self / experiences, be in tune with your emotions, or quote-unquote be vulnerable. It's also about letting the quote-unquote old you, with all of the baggage and things you don't like about yourself, be loved. And you would have thought that I already would have known that, but to be honest, I really didn't. I literally feel so heartbroken because I feel every emotion I couldn't feel at the time. I'm not just healing from one specific thing, I'm healing for myself, past friendships, past relationships, past trauma, etc. And when you're at the highest peak of your healing journey, it actually doesn't get any easier. In fact, I don't know how many people who watch my videos are religious, but in my case, I am religious and my faith has been tested many times. But I know God's got me, and I wouldn't be going through this without a reason. So this morning, I watched the Just Different podcast featuring Clarissa Rojos. And if you haven't watched that video, you should go watch it because that's a great video. But anyways, the topic was on vulnerability. That whole entire video was great. But one thing that stood out to me was this quote: "To love is to be vulnerable." So I'm someone who looks for vulnerability in you, but it's the last thing I'm willing to show you. Now, I can talk about surface level feelings all day, every day, but to talk about how you did me wrong, or to bring up past trauma, or to talk about how a friendship breakup literally has left me broken to pieces, yeah, you won't get that out of me. One reason is because I'm a people pleaser. I tend to put other people's feelings before mine because I don't like when the people I care about are mad at me, or I try to intentionally hurt their feelings, even if that means shoving my feelings down to the bottom of my soul. This is why I have a hard time saying no. And of course, people take that for granted, but that's another conversation for a different day. Another reason is because of judgment. The thought of someone judging me scares the living mess out of me, and I'm being so dead serious. Like, it scares the living mess out of me. Because in today's society, a lot of people tend to judge people instead of helping or praising their progress. I can admit that I'm guilty of this one, which is why I'm trying to work on it. Another reason is I don't know how to handle pain. But I guess that's the beauty in vulnerability. There's no right formula to facing your emotions.
I hope you find your way. Sorry we couldn't make it. Still I miss you anyway. Yeah.
The thought of expressing my raw self and emotions to other people just really don't sit right with me. The thought of crying about something that happened a year ago also don't sit right with me. It's like you weren't thinking about it a year ago, while all of a sudden are you thinking about it now? Life is crazy. But imagine taking the feathers off a chicken. The chicken's gonna feel uncomfortable, and that's because it's exposed. But again, I digress. I guess that's the beauty in vulnerability. I've realized that for years, I've tried to outrun vulnerability. I became numb to the things that happened to me in the past and currently. But when it finally caught up to me, I could no longer hold it in. So the other day, I messed up, and that pretty much messed me up. The next day, I got up and I went to work, and I had an hour before I had to clock in, so I sat down and started praying and reading my Bible. Next thing you know, I'm texting my friend about everything that happened, and after sending that message, I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt very uncomfortable. Luckily, I love her, and what she sent back calmed my nerves. She was so caring and willing to help. And she can tell you that it took me months, and I mean months, to finally open up to her. That made me realize that vulnerability is one of the key components in any human connection on both ends. Without that key ingredient, essentially your friendship or relationship will be at a surface level. And it's crazy because I'm okay with a surface level friendship or relationship if that means not getting hurt again. Like I previously said, I don't know how to handle pain. So I can literally feel myself building up walls between the people I care about because it feels safe. Contrary to popular belief, I'm fragile. And the reason why I'm 99% of the time happy is because I don't try to put myself in situations where I can be hurt, or at least try not to. I guess with that being said, I'm not very experienced in a lot of things, but hey, listen, if I'm not hurt, I guess I'm okay. Going back to the relationship thing, I've never been in a serious relationship because I don't want to get hurt. And I'm gonna have to be vulnerable in a relationship, and I don't know how to do that right now. I guess that's why I'm content with being single. But I also feel like in today's society, everyone wants to be tough and have so much pride, and the moment someone is vulnerable, y'all want to run away. Vulnerability is also deemed as weakness in today's society. That's why a lot of people don't want to talk about mental health, especially in people of color families, because they don't want to be seen as weak. But I guess I'm weak because I'm posting this video, right? But that's another topic for a different day. But going back to vulnerability, I know I'm the problem when it comes to vulnerability. I am very much complacent when it comes to vulnerability, but I'm taking baby steps, one step at a time. I honestly feel like there's only two people I can be vulnerable with because they literally have open arms when it comes to me. I mean, putting out this video is a part of vulnerability, right? Even though isolation leads to transformation, so does vulnerability. I realized that I struggled in the beginning of my journey because I had no one to talk to. Like, my thought process really was isolation really meant not talking to anybody, not interacting with anybody. But in fact, it actually made it worse. Once I began opening up, the healing journey began to get easier. But don't get me wrong, it's still ghetto out in these streets. Point being is vulnerability is a key component in life. Whether that's in relationships, friendships, yourself, whatever the case may be, vulnerability is needed in life. So don't hide it. You would be amazed to see how far vulnerability will get you in life. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.